Every time I've talked to Graham about the World Cup, he always talks about how eerie it was when Brazil was playing games and how the town was just deadly quiet, and then Brazil would score and there'd be fireworks and cheering, and it was like, you know, a little eruption. Do you have a memory like that, or what do you remember when you think about the 2014 World Cup?
Specifically with Brazil?
Yeah. Well, or just whatever sticks to mind for you, comes first to mind for you.
Yeah, I mean, Brazil that was one of my favorite memories when the home country plays in a World Cup. The energy is just different. You can truly feel the entire country rally behind and get behind their team, and it provides a very unique and exciting energy throughout the whole country. So when we were down in Brazil, I mean, we felt that on the streets, in the hotel, on the news. It was just all over. And yeah, certainly when Brazil played their matches, you knew that game was going on, and everybody was tuned in. And when Brazil scored goals, it was like the whole country celebrated in unison together, which was awesome.
Do you anything else stand out from that World Cup to you?
The travel. Brazil's a very big country. Yeah. No, I mean the one thing to say is the base camps. So one thing to understand that some people might know is just how important the base camp truly is. I would say that 75-80% of your time spent at the World Cup is at your base camp, and some people may not understand that. So teams will primarily train at their base camp. They'll stay at their base camp. They'll spend 5 or 6 days there, and then they'll hop on an airplane and jet out to wherever their game's being played. They'll play the game, and right after the game, they'll fly right back to their base camp and spend the next 6 or 7 days. So when you talk about people's memories, I mean, most of my memories came from my base camp city, not the games that we played, because that's where we spent most of our time. Like days off, that's where your family is. Obviously, the games are a highlight too, but the fact that Kansas City is hosting 4 countries and 4 countries are choosing to base camp in Kansas City is a really big deal.
I want to talk to you about, you know, obviously you were one of all-time great leaders for Sporting Kansas City, and helping them, you know, achieve great things on the field too, right? Open Cups and MLS Cup championships and stuff like that. But how different is that experience of trying to bring leadership to a men's national team when you have a very short window, 2 to 3 weeks at most, to get ready, train with these guys? And do you have to establish a pecking order when you get in there? How does that work?
Great question. It is. It's such a unique dynamic. I think it can be studied and it can be analyzed. It's just a completely different setting than club. When you play with your club, you're around those guys. You're in the locker room every single day. You spend countless hours on the training ground with that team, and so, you know, those pecking orders are kind of established and they kind of fall into place. With the national team, you don't have that luxury. You are coming together as a group in a very tight window. Sometimes you only get 2 or 3 weeks to prepare for a World Cup. Sometimes when you play friendlies or World Cup qualifiers, you only get 2 or 3 days. And so you have this group of people from all walks of life, from different backgrounds. You got guys coming in from different countries. They play a different style. They're being coached a different way. They have their own leadership style, and you all have to come together immediately and make it work. It's a lot harder than people might realize, but I think the biggest thing is when you go to a national team, you have to put your personal egos aside right away. No matter who your name is, what team you're coming from, how many caps you have, if you're a captain or you're not, you walk in and it's all about the team. Whatever you can do to help the team come together and find success and win games, that's what you have to do. And it's a lot easier said than done because of the challenges that I just mentioned about everybody being on different pages and you've got to come in. From my experience, some of that happens naturally, but I would say the 2014 team that I played on in Brazil, that was one of our biggest strengths, was leadership. On paper, our talent probably wasn't the highest. We had a lot of guys playing in MLS versus now you have guys playing in the best teams in the world in Europe. But what we did have was incredible leadership. If you go down that roster and look at the players, a ton of leaders, a ton of captains at their club. So we had a group of people that are used to being the captains, used to being in leadership positions. They're comfortable. They know what that responsibility feels like, and then you come together as a national team, and you kind of have to figure out your roles. But we were all working together doing that.
Anybody stand out in terms of being the rallying force that people kind of lined up behind in the World Cup?
Well, I think that having a veteran presence is really important too. And that would be my one concern. Well, I have a few concerns about the current team, but one of the concerns would just be that veteran presence. Yes, our talent is as high as it's ever been. We have guys that are playing at clubs that I would have never dreamed about. I think the excitement is very high, but the veteran presence is lacking. And so I think leadership usually starts with the veteran presence. They're the most experienced. They've been around the block. They understand certain moments. But yeah, with our team, you go down the list of captains, but it was Michael Bradley, Clint Dempsey, Landon Donovan was in that group, Tim Howard was in that group, Brad Guzan is captain of Atlanta, Nick Raimondo, Kyle Beckerman, Alejandro Bedoya, myself, Brad Davis was captain of Houston. Honestly, I think about half the roster was a current club captain at that time. Jermaine Jones was coming in from New England and LA at the time. But yeah, I mean, those were guys that I always looked up to. Tim Howard, specifically was a guy that I really looked up to and learned a lot from him. Michael Bradley, incredible leader. To me, he was one of the most complete players in U.S. history, on and off the field. His intangibles are insane. He's such a great leader.
You mentioned a couple guys in there. I mean, you had some wars with Brad Davis. You had some wars with Kyle Beckerman. I don't know how you guys were off the field, but didn't always seem to get along on the field with those guys. Yeah. Can you get into how that aspect of it? I mean, you're coming in with rivals, guys that, you and Houston had some major playoff battles there, and they were thorn in your side. Like, how do you manage that aspect of it when you have to come together and you're playing for something bigger than yourselves in that moment?
There's a mutual respect, when you compete against certain guys and you have rivalries going on. But I go back to what I said earlier. When you play with the national team, you put all your personal rivalries, your egos, you put it aside. And it's all about the team. And to be successful and to make that team, you either can do it or you can't. And the guys that aren't able to do that, they end up not performing, they end up not making the team, and they get pushed out. It truly is about the guys that are willing to sacrifice and give up themselves for the team. So again, I was fortunate to be on some great teams who had awesome leadership. But it's always interesting dynamics for sure when you're off the field talking about or talking about a rival or talking to guys that you go up against. But I would just say, like, everybody set the tone in training. Everybody's used to being the guy that sets the example, being first in line, making sure the standard's high in passing drills. And when you put multiple people together in a group like that, it kind of takes care of itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it hard when you mentioned putting your ego aside, but you don't get to the level that you got to or Graham got to or Tim Howard got to, right, without having some ego involved, right? Like, so is it hard to go from being, because everybody who shows up at a national team is the man, 10 months out of the year, right? Yeah. Is it hard to shut that down? Or is it harder than it? Because you make it sound like you can just flick a switch, but it can't be that easy.
Yeah, it's a great question. I mean, having that personal ego sometimes is what makes you great. It's your edge. And you have to have a certain level in order to make it to the highest level. So it's all about the balance. And sometimes there's a fine line. I mean, that's why sports are so fun, because anything can happen. Like, on paper, you've got a certain team, but is the locker room right? Is the leadership right? What's the ego like of the team? And it's razor thin. Sometimes it's correct, sometimes it isn't. But I think that's why it's so important to have great leadership. When you're talking about having balance between personal egos and putting the team first, that's when leadership comes into play. When leadership is done in the correct way, everything kind of falls into place. When your leadership is off, that's when sometimes the personal egos can get out of whack and they can become a little higher than putting the team first. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we saw some of that in 2022, I think. You know, I mean, the World Cup, I think it's lingered into this year. But, I mean, outside of Christian Pulisic, you know, you mentioned, who do you think can step up? I mean, Christian, I think he's the one guy that you look to, the veteran presence, the guy who's done it before, the guy who's sacrificed, you know, his body. You know, we saw it in 2022, you know, one of the few successes they had there. He seems like he's the one guy, but who else is in that group that you think is capable of stepping up in a few months?
I mean, I think they have guys that are capable. The problem is that no one's ever really done it on the international stage, so I think it's one of the question marks that the team has. Not saying it won't happen. I believe it will. I think guys will step up. And like I said, I think guys are capable, but you know, you go down the list and guys like Christian, Tyler Adams, Weston McKennie, Anthony Robinson playing left back for Fulham. Like, those guys seem like the guys that have the big personalities, and certainly they're hopefully will play a big role in the team. But you know, those are the guys that are going to have to step up. I also think it's important. You've got to have one of your center backs step up too. You know, your goalkeeper and your center back, they're the spine of the team. And so you need one of those guys to really come into a leadership role if you want to be successful.
Yeah, and Tim Ream certainly is the veteran presence there,
Totally.
right? So
Yeah. Tim's capable. I've been around Tim a long time and been in lots of camps with him. Great player. He's a good leader, and so you know, assuming he's part of that roster, he'll do a good job with that.
So how do you, World Cup, home soil, big moment for U.S. soccer? Are you nervous? Are you excited? Like, as a former USMNT player and knowing what it's like to pull on that shirt and represent the red, white, and blue in that moment, obviously not in your home country, but do you feel for the guys and the pressure they face, or how do you approach it, and how do you, is it hard for you to watch the games?
I'm excited. People are asking me, like, what's going to happen, what to expect. I don't know. I don't know. We've never hosted a World Cup. I mean, we have in '94, but I was 7 years old. Like, Kansas City's never hosted a World Cup, so I don't know what it's going to be like. I've only played in a World Cup, but the World Cup I played in was in Brazil. This one's in the U.S. Every World Cup's different. Every World Cup takes on a life of its own. It's the culture of the country. It's everything. So, but that's what makes it great. We don't really know what's going to happen. It's exciting. I'm excited to watch this team from a fan's perspective. Way less pressure, way less anxiety than being a player. And honestly, I think I'm going to enjoy it more. You know, when you're a player, it's really hard to like take in the moments. I wish I was better at that, but I was never good at being able to take a step back. I mean, quite honestly, I was just too nervous. You know, I was focused on what I needed to do. I had a job to do. But now that I'm removed from playing, I mean, I can truly appreciate things better, and I have a better perspective, and I can enjoy it. I think it's really important for our fan base to get behind this team. Traditionally, the home country does well because they feel that support, but it also can go the other way. I think we need to just, you know, the negativity right now, I don't know, I'm just tired of it. I think you can have your opinions and whether or not you believe the coach or the strategy or this player or that player. Like, at the end of the day, you got to choose whether you want to support the team or not. And I can tell you that the fan base makes a big difference. It really does. They're either going to feel us and it's going to help them propel forward and go farther than they maybe could, or it's going to hurt them. And they're going to feel the pressure and they're going to be nervous and they're going to, you know, all the negativity is going to affect them. So hopefully that I see us rallying together, and because that's what we're great at. Like, or at least that's what we say we're great at. The Americans, we all get together. We have so much pride. So we'll see.
Yeah, I was going to say, we'll see if it shows up, right? You know, I mean, we saw, I don't know how much carryover there was in 2002, but obviously it had been a tense, tumultuous year, and that's the best the U.S. has ever done. Was coming out of some difficulties in late 2001. So, so what, you know, Paraguay, June 12th. You got a game plan? Are you gonna try to be there? Or are you gonna be holed up with some friends watching? Do you got a game plan yet?
I don't have a game plan. Yeah, TBD. I need to figure that out. I've been been a little lazy trying to figure out like tickets but I been doing a lot of work with KC 2026. I'm an official ambassador for them, so really excited to support what they're doing and just get involved with everything that's going on in Kansas City. We'll see what happens. I certainly intend to go to as many games as I can. I'm excited. It's getting here quick. What I will say though is just from what I've seen, Kansas City is ahead of other cities, and it may not seem that way because it's like, holy cow, this is happening next month, and how is it all going to happen? We are ahead in so many different areas, and that's what I continue to hear from across the country. These cities are looking at Kansas City for help. They are looking at us and saying, how did you do this? What do we do? What's your plan for this? Let's follow Kansas City. And I think it says a lot about the group that is involved putting on this World Cup and how much work and preparation they've done. But I think it says a lot about the leadership that we have in Kansas City. And I think that's one of our secret weapons. We have an ability as a city, as leaders, to come together. In moments like this, when we're hosting things and when we're coming together across state lines, we come together and we work together and we collaborate. Like, that's what leaders do. And I don't know why that is, but it seems like Kansas City has the ability to do that better than other cities. Maybe it is because we're smaller. Maybe it is because we have relationships. The leaders in our city, they work together. They have experience together. They can pick up their phone and they can probably text each other or pick up the phone and say, hey, let's meet somewhere and let's talk about this. I think other cities are having a hard time coming together and collaborating. So shout out to KC and the leadership that Kansas City has. They're doing a great job.
I was going to say, how crazy is that too? I mean, there was a lot, I think there were a lot of people that worried that how Kansas City would pull it off, and we're shocked that Kansas City was awarded a host bid. And but you're right. I think those of us here in Kansas City knew that we could do it. I don't think any of us ever doubted that we could pull it off and excel at it, right? Yeah. But what do you think people outside of Kansas City are learning about Kansas City as we get closer to this World Cup?
We just have a lot of pride for who we are as people and where we come from, and we want to show that off. I think deep down, all of us want people to like Kansas City. When they come here, they want to see people enjoying it, and they want to help people out and do whatever we can to put on a positive experience. But yeah, I think anyone that comes to Kansas City that's never been, the typical response is, wow, I didn't know about it. This is much better than I thought. This is great. I want to come back. So, I anticipate the same thing happening.
For you as a USM&T veteran, do you still, how do you try to show leadership to the next generation of guys, or do you get to a point where you're too far removed, and you didn't play with any of those guys anymore,
Great question. Great question. Again, I think passing down leadership with the national team is a lot harder than passing down leadership at the club level. The club level, the relationship that you have with the city, with the club, it's a lot stronger, and that's just the reality of it. The other thing that specifically with this group, what's happened, and Tim Howard is the one who really pointed this out, and he says it a lot better than I'm going to say it, is, so this group, after 2018 and our failure to qualify for that World Cup, U.S. Soccer made a decision to clean house. We're gonna remove everybody that was involved. We're gonna take away all the old guys. We know we're hosting the World Cup in 2026, so we're gonna give this young group. We're just gonna put them all together. We're gonna throw them out there, and they're gonna have 8 years to get experience. And by the time we host the World Cup, they're gonna be in a much better position. Great plan on paper. Like I probably would have done the same thing. There's nothing wrong with that plan. The problem, in my opinion, and Tim's opinion, is that what happens in sports and teams is the veterans pass down standards and traditions and the way things should be, and This group didn't have that. They were thrown into the fire, and they said, you guys handle it and just figure it out. Figure it out from who? From themselves, from the media, from results. They don't have anybody above them that's guiding them, that's holding their hand and saying, hey, don't worry. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so, again, I feel for this group, because on paper the plan was to just, hey, let's clean house and start with them. It made sense at the time, but I think what they're missing is like that group ahead of them that really would have helped develop some of that leadership that they need.
Yeah, and you're right, because it feels like the one thing you could always count on from the U.S. men's national team was grit, right? Like that you were going to know you had played the U.S. men's national team by the time it was over, even if you guys were technically deficient or were playing teams that were vastly more talented, vastly more experienced, right? And you don't see that all the time with the results these days. You don't see the same intensity maybe that you once did.
Yeah,
maybe I'm making too much of that.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a reason. Like, we started and we got super young, and we were just trying to develop these kids. And then I think, and that's part of the reason why Tim Ream got brought in. Yeah. I think they realized, like, wait, this recipe isn't gonna work. Yeah. We need a veteran. And he's done a great job embracing that role, and there's maybe one or two other guys, but I think they need a couple more Tim Reams on that team.
All right.
You were an MLS Best 11 player. You were a multiple-time All-Star, right? Like one of the best players in the league for a period, for one of the best teams in the league. How would you describe your leadership style and how it evolved from the time you were drafted out of Maryland, until, just through your career?
Sure. I would generally describe myself as a lead by example type of player. I wasn't extremely outspoken off the field and like a rah-rah kind of guy. But once I got on the field, there was no hesitancy to speak up. And it was mainly to help organize or lead or get someone motivated in a way that I knew that he was capable of. And then, of course, I mentioned the lead by example. I never felt like I was asking someone to do something that I wasn't very willing to do myself. So yeah, I think some of the other things I prided myself on was being one of the fittest guys on the field as well. So, putting the work in and what that meant, and then asking the guy next to me to do the same, was some of my leadership qualities.
Did you look forward to the beep test? Did you look forward to showing people the effort you put in during the offseason?
No, I think you'd have to be a bit sadistic to look forward to the beep test, but I looked forward to every offseason, and the way I went into my offseason, my mentality was that no one was going to work harder than me in the offseason. So I would always feel really good about where I was going into the season. But yeah, no, the preseason testing, I still got all the nervous, stomach feelings that everyone else did, and I was always looking forward to having them in the rearview mirror to get to the real work of the preseason.
I want to say you've been in the league a couple of years, and then you had, I think it was kind of a breakout game at FC Dallas where you scored a goal or two, had an assist, I think, right? Mm-hmm. What was the biggest challenge over the next couple of years as you kind of built in? And, you went from a guy on the team to a guy that everyone was looking to, especially once you become a DP and your contract grows to a certain level. Mm-hmm. As guys come in and they're looking to you, did you have to grow as a leader? Did you have to grow in terms of that vocal leadership, or did you feel like that lead by example was enough?
Yeah, I think I did certainly have to grow a bit, and that was something that was a bit learned for me. You know, Peter was a guy, as the coach, was always asking that of our leadership group, to be more outspoken, and because that's the way he was very much so. So I think he helped me develop that to a certain extent, but I also had to remind Peter that that's not necessarily my style. So there was this give and take there where, yes, I needed to learn to be a bit more vocal because I became a leader on that team, but I didn't want it to feel unnatural for me, so I still heavily relied on that lead by example role.
And then you guys, the world of a professional soccer player is so weird, right? Because not only do you have the club, but all of a sudden you get thrown into the national team once you reach a certain level. And now you go from a spot where you had kind of grown into an alpha with the team, right? And now it's just 25 alphas who are thrown together and have to figure it out over the course of a week or two, and then go play a game, or in the case of the World Cup in 24, you have several camps over the course of a couple years through qualifying and stuff like that. But how much different is the leadership that's required when you get thrown into a national team setting compared to your club setting?
Yeah, I think that's one of the big difficulties of the national team is that you have so little time with this group of players, and you're just expected to gel in such a short amount of time, which is tough. And I think that's where a national team coach's role is so important versus the club coach. Yes, that's still a factor, but you have seasons to develop those relationships. So. Yeah, so you've got this group of players who, in their club, are all very much leaders and people who look up to you, and then you throw them together and you've got 23 of them. So it's challenging, but those dynamics do fall into place as well. And I think that with the national team, there's this other factor of, even more so from your club, is you're playing for this greater good. You're representing your country. So for me at least, it was easy to, when necessary, dial back some of that, whether you call it ego or a force of a leader. You kind of have that give and take in that mutual respect where, hey guys, we're here for a common goal and purpose. We all know those qualities that we have with our club team. Yes, we want to bring them in and implement them because that's why we're here. But there's that give and take when it comes to the national team.
I'm glad you brought that up because you struck me as about as egoless of a superstar as you could get during your playing career, right? I mean, I know that that's probably not fair, right? Everybody who gets to that level has some degree of ego, but did that make it easier when you went into a national team? Because I can't imagine you ever went into a camp with the goal of being the loudest guy in the rallying point, of that camp. But, so I imagine you probably went in looking to kind of do your part and like the lead by example, right? The being willing to sacrifice and give the extra effort every rep and things like that. That probably played well in that setting for you.
I think it did, and again, that's part of the coach's job, is not necessarily bringing in the biggest superstars of the player pool, but bringing in the correct players who will gel and mesh the best together and putting the best team together. So I was probably a safe and easy choice for a coach where he didn't have to worry about an ego whatsoever when it came to me, and I was just a guy who kept my head down and had no issue doing the hard stuff and doing what was best for the team.
So, I mean, obviously your World Cup in 2014 was in Brazil.
Yep.
Are you jealous of this group that gets to play a home World Cup, or are you looking at that and being like, man, I would not have wanted that pressure at all?
Yeah, I've been asked that question several times now, and it's a tough one to answer. I think I loved my experience playing down in Brazil because it's, for one, Brazil, the culture of soccer down there is just incredible. So it's to experience that down there and the fandom and all that was amazing. But this group has something that an opportunity that we never had, and to play on your home soil in front of your home fans has got to be a really special feeling as well. And home teams typically do pretty well in the tournament, so I think that them really leaning into the home fan base and riding that passion and the energy from the home fans, it gives them a great chance to do amazing things in this tournament.
Hey, Todd. Or do you have one? All right, go ahead.
Yeah. Last question for me. You guys were part of a generation that kind of the worm turned against Mexico, right? The Dos a Cero became a thing and stuff
Right.
like that. But for this group, what do you need to? They've struggled, at least here most recently in the March lead up to this tournament, right? What needs to happen over these next couple of months for them to be able to flip that switch and start getting the results they need to put together that good tournament, like you said, that's kind of expected from the home team in a World Cup?
Yeah, listen, if this group goes on into this tournament and makes a really deep run, none of us are going to be questioning these past two games that they've played. I think it's important to play against some of the best teams in the world leading up to the tournament. It gives you a good sense of what you're going to see this summer. So I'm not as worried about the results as some of the stuff I'm seeing out there. I think what they need to do in the next month, in these next couple games leading up to the tournament, is just find the best way to come together as a group and everyone feeling like they're on the same page leading into the tournament. There's so much to be said about a mentality of a group, about just the locker room feel. Man, when people are playing together and for each other, that trumps talent for me. So I just like to see them get into a great spot mentally and really be kind of firing on all cylinders leading up to these first three group matches.
All right, well, I know you'll be watching, and I appreciate your time, man.
Absolutely. Thanks.